This is the hashtag nothing show. You have been corrupted. We cannot help you. No, we cannot help you. You are thirsty, there's nothing to drink here. We cannot help you. Only you can help you. We are nothing, cartoon talk, uneducated political debate. That's what you get here, so turn away now. Don't watch this broadcast, nothing will come from it. Turn off your internet. This is the hashtag nothing show. Hashtag nothing show. Nothing show, nothing show, nothing show, nothing show.
Woo. This is where I go. Woo. Woo. Oh, woo. Welcome to the hashtag nothing show. I'm your host with the most, Todd Grundle. Most handsome man on earth. Mr. Williams is ready, but not here. I don't know if he means call him. We'll find out right now here on the hashtag nothing show. God damn it. There was something else that was supposed to go into the intro today, and I just didn't do it, but we'll get to that in a second. Is this what you meant? To call you?
Not sure what you're talking about.
Is this what you meant by your icon is there? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What are you, a crazy person?
Okay.
Hello. Are you there? Uh-oh. So stay off the camera.
Yeah, I'm here.
So you can't see me on the camera. We're live.
All right. There you go. Let's go.
I wasn't sure if that's what you meant in the chat when in the Google Hangout, if you were telling me to just call you or what. I wasn't sure, but you said you were ready.
Okay.
So I started the show.
All right. Great. That's awesome.
Our audience of one is most likely already gone to sleep. They said they were getting sleepy waiting. So how you doing?
Doing okay.
Okay. Charming. So, what's up today? We can try this again and again and again. We can try it.
What's up today?
Yes,
basically,
how's it going?
hopefully
Witty intro banter time, Mr. Williams.
Oh, yes. No problem. It's going absolutely well. This is great to get this midnight-ish show going.
Midnight show. Well, this is the time you prefer, is it not?
Well, at certain points it does work for me. So, yeah, it's something that we could definitely take advantage of every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, you can't see my camera because I'm on a different camera. But just before when I was, after I finally got the headphones ready, I was waiting for you to respond back. And I got a great idea. And I made a great video. A wonderful video that I was going to start the show with. Which is why I was so gung-ho and go with it. But I forgot to play it. But now you're here and you get to see it too.
Okay, great. I'm
just
excited.
Have to find it. Well, I thought it would be good for us on our show because we're obviously such influential people who run agendas against other people. We are asshat supremes. Well, I'm asshat supreme. You're just my bald-headed minion.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm sure. Could you define minion for me? I want to make sure that I'm totally okay with this job description.
I have no clue. I have no further explanation on that. It's just a word. But I think it means henchman. I'm probably gonna have to take my shirt off for this broadcast because I'm itchy as fuck from what I just did. which was shaved off half of my hair. If you see in the stream, I started cutting my hair while I was waiting, and then when you responded, I came back. When you responded the first time, I came back, and I had half the hair. And then when I was sitting here, I was like, "Oh boy, what a perfect time for meditation." So here is our brief meditation. I play the singing bowls. Where is the goddamn music video files? There we go. Do you know what the singing bowls are, Mr. Williams?
Well, if I'm vaguely familiar, I believe it's these special bowls that people use where I believe either they tap or they take a certain metal rod and they sort of, go around the rim of the bowl, and it sort of makes these very melodic sounds that seems to be the boggle the mind in this mystery and the way it makes the most beautiful music.
Well, I mean, this is not a kid. Let's not get into fucking magnets, how do they work territory, because I don't think it's quite that mind-boggling how this works, but sure. All right, are you on the live stream?
Okay, let me check the
along.
YouTube. I'm going to check the YouTube tab and let's see. Okay.
We are one now, Mr. Williams. Hello, I'm Mr. Williams. The editor-in-chief and lead journalist of Mainframe Magazine. I like margaritas and young men. I didn't say boys, you perverts. I mean like 25-year-old men in Speedos. That's what I prefer. And I like wearing suits when I go to work at Quantico.
Okay. All right. I kind of like that experiment. It's almost like a couples therapy type of thing. So I think we should try that. I think I should give a quick shout. Let's see. I am Todd Grundle, master and creator of all I survey. It's mine, mine, mine. Kiss my ass. It's mine. You jagaloons. I own you, and I am the world champion, Bray Wyatt. When I moonlight, even though I hate that, secretly I love that. Now, you may believe that I hate being called Bray Wyatt, but secretly I love that. He's a badass, and he is an eater of worlds. Thank you, folks.
I call this Milk the Cow. All right.
Oh, yes, folks. Yes, folks. The milk is almost done. It's almost done. I think I've squeezed it to it's become now dehydrated powdered milk. But hey, folks.
Powdered milk is better than no milk at all. All right, here we go. Are you ready for Wait, oh, you had a punchline there?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Here was me doing some singing bowl meditations just prior to this. Do enjoy. All of you. Okay. I'm sorry. Time phone hacking. Don't be scared. It's not your future I'm trying to destroy. Want some? You want some time phone hack, kitty? Come here. It's much better if you take apart. Come here. Fine. Take a nap. Don't look at my boobies. Just look at my pussy. Meow. Meow, meow. Meow. Hi. Okay. Hi. What you don't know there is you all just got time phone hacked. I just destroyed your future back, Quinn Michaels. Time phone hack. And there you go, time phone hack. You've all just been time phone hacked. Mr. Williams is getting back to us, so we'll just give him a brief moment. In the meantime, let's go to our zero audience. All right, hey, where's our favorite chat potter, huh? Jeez. Mr. Williams, you back? Maybe we can see him. You're muted, I think. Did you mute yourself or something? I don't know why your sound's gone.
Yes, I'm back. I had to make sure that I wasn't double listening to the situation, but yeah, I'm back now. Totally back.
All right. So yeah, time phone hack. And that's why my head's all fucked up right now. Because, you know, I had a time phone hack, everybody.
That whole bowl, that whole singing bowl thing, complete with your how did my guy put it? How did the guy put it in the Steven Seagal movie, The Glimmer Man? Him and his little sissy ponytail. That was awesome.
Hey, I still got it going on right here, so as we're done here, I'm gonna go finish my haircut. I'm not a crazy person. Time phone hack. Hail Satan. I'm pretty the fool who don't eat my cereal. Ah!
Circa, that is a line from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, starring Paul Rubens, aka Pee-wee Herman. Folks, just for those of you who don't have the nostalgia, who don't have the awesome childhood that we may have had, that's where that line is from. That scene was Pee-wee Herman at breakfast having some pancakes covered in Mr. T's cereal.
You know what? That would be delicious.
Yes, and he chose to eat it. He chose to eat it in oversized cutlery, where he could hardly eat the cereal and hardly eat the pancake. But you know, that's the world of Pee-wee.
Wasn't the Mr. T cereal? I don't know if you ever had it when you were a kid, do you recall it being somewhere between Kix and Captain Crunch? That's what my brain tells me. It was somewhere there.
Yes, I agree. It was more. Yeah, I definitely could say it was. I could say it definitely had that blend. It was more. I could definitely say it was more of a Captain Crunch overall taste to it. I definitely could say that.
Like I can almost taste it in my mouth. Speaking of Pee-wee, did you ever watch Pee-wee's Netflix movie?
The Pee-wee's Holiday? Not quite yet.
Oh, really? It's some funny stuff in there. There's like some actor who he's obsessed with that adds a lot of funniness to it. A lot of funny. Excuse me, I was choking.
What are you? So really, he's got a thing for Tom Manganiello.
Yeah, Manganiello. Like he's always looking at him almost in a homosexual way, like
homoerotic. Homoerotic, I believe, is the word they use for that.
Like I don't know if they go as far as to like Pee-wee looking at him and he's suddenly all oiled up and abby, but I think they actually may have gone a bit in that direction.
Oh.
They definitely made you say, wait a minute, is Pee-wee gay? Is that what they're trying to say here? Do you recall this? No? Okay.
Well, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing this particular funny installment of Pee-wee's Adventures, but you know, I'm pretty sure that question had to come up at some point in time.
Yeah, I was asking for confirmation from the off-camera goblin. This is Pedro, because here at the Nothing Network, we are nothing if not progressive, and we definitely hire Mexicans. So Pedro is our in-house intern.
Well, folks, now those of you working the anarchist circles know that's not quite as progressive as we may think. As rich people for years have been hiring Mexicans under the books. You know,
but I thought the problem is the Mexicans. They don't want the jobs. What's the problem going on these days? I don't know. I'm just a dummy trying to time phone hack here. It's and I'm trying to fucking save you all from yourselves.
Well, what I can say is that once upon a time,
I'm fucking Carrot Top now, Mr. Williams. Sorry, carry on. Prop comedy is what we resorted to.
But once upon a time, you know, we had a person who I believe now is the true Orange Wizard. He once said, once upon a time, that Mexicans bring rapists and murderers and drug dealers and they're not fantastic at all, and we have to get rid of them. I propose that we build a wall and we make Mexico pay for it. I mean, it's only right. It's only right.
I wasn't yelling at Pedro. I was yelling at the kitty. I don't want any fucking, one of those people coming at us here.
But yes, but yes, folks. Rich people have hired Mexicans for the longest time. I think it's best put. I think it's best put by the governor running in Black Sheep. How does she put it? Good worker, but no speaker.
See, I don't even... Hold on, I gotta take these headphones off. I can't take the itch. I'm going censored. The rage is here. Alright. Now you people get sex appeal on this show.
Really?
Prop comedy and sex appeal.
Really? Because they weren't getting that. Because they weren't getting that over here. I mean, they weren't quite getting that here. So I totally understand. I mean, with having to endure, my imperfections all this time. I mean,
obviously, they had to look at your fucking goblin face this whole time.
Yes, of course. Who would want to see a chiseled bronze, Superman as myself?
Nobody. Because we live in white America. And speaking of that, it goes back to the Mexicans. Why are they saying in these arguments, is it a joke? Am I just reading jokes and seeing people reacting to them as if they're serious? I know we've all seen this before. I'm seeing now, like, basically how nobody wants to, all the businesses are now upset. Like, who's going to work this field? Who's going to wash the fucking dishes? Who's going to who's going to bust the tables? Who's going to cook? You know, like they're trying to say the Mexicans are our cooks and they're our fucking cleaners and all this shit. And I'm like, first off, why do you have to be Mexican to do those things? What's wrong with doing those things? I will happily take a job doing those things if you. I mean, not all of them. I don't want to go in a fucking field. Who wants that? Who wants that? Somebody does, though. Somebody who wants money does that. You know what I mean? But then lazy fucks like us, we don't want to go out in fields and make money. We want to find it somewhere else or have no money. We'd rather take no money.
Because the American dream that was always sold us that says, you know what, you can go out here and pursue your what you want to do, and you can make that into a living, and you can go out there and really gain something in life, save your money, be smart about it, then you'll be able to retire and have this nest egg that you can live on and things you can pass down to your children. It's all of that. So it's like, but then you have the Mexicans that come here, and their main dream is to be able to just survive and live freely in a country, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen for themselves.
Absolutely. Always have and always will respect that. But let's talk about the flip side of that coin, which was brought up to me recently, and it took me aback a bit. What about the Mexicans who come down here simply to be able to make, and they work their asses off in these jobs, taking jobs from you and I, and then go home and live cheap for the rest of their lives and live in big, nice houses and shit that they made, you know, for slaving down here for 5-10 years.
Well, the truth actually remains is that that from what I hear and what I believe I understand is that process for becoming a U.S. citizen legally is like seriously a seriously elongated process.
Well,
and I mean, so
listen,
it's like what?
If you're coming to escape, I don't so much mind you're going through illegal and you skip that elongated process because of some sort of oppression or some sort of poverty, and you want to come here forever and live and be American and then sort of somehow work on it from the inside, because there are ways you could sneak in and then start going legal about it. Like, this is America. I mean, we're nothing if not a bureaucracy. I mean, there's paperwork for everything. So you can do that. You don't have to be here illegal forever. But specifically, fuck it. I don't give a fuck how long it is. If your goal is to go back home and you're just here to take money and make resources, sure, you're entitled to do that, but you should definitely be penalized the most for doing it illegally. As any corporation should be penalized for taking advantage of things illegally for benefit.
Understood. I mean, I think that those type of things should be handled in the way that it normally. I mean, I don't think it should be made into so much of a stereotypical racial thing. Okay, you're from another country that's not the United States. If you may have tried to escape political asylum, for political asylum and things like that, so you didn't do it the legal way initially. If you're willing to go through the process, like you said, then okay, cool, we can work with that. But if you're here and you start to do illegal things and then cause problems, then yes, I think the whole thing of deportation and being able to determine, okay, you cannot come back, for a certain period of time, or maybe it's a 3-strike rule. You know what I'm saying? You're gone for a certain amount of time. You come back, you still get into that type of thing. That okay, by the third time, you're banned. For life. That should be the whole thing, and then there should be a whole watch list based on that type of thing. But it will be fair. Okay, it will be a watch list. We'll be watching out for these people trying to cross the border illegally now, based on that. But it will be more of a watch list going on. And it will be less about just indiscriminately, basically rounding up, torturing, killing, these Mexicans trying to cross the border illegally, like, so like these border patrol, assholes are doing right now. So that's how I look at it.
Well, I just gave myself a Donald Trump comb over to hide my bald spot, the shaving I did. But I agree. I agree mostly with what you're saying, but I think I'd be a little more strict in the fact that, okay, look, if you came down here illegally and you like stole a fucking hamburger, you shoplifted, or basically, I think that'd be the only crime acceptable to say, all right, you have like a second shot to be an American. But if you come down here and do any other crime, you should lose your shot for life. That should be serious shit. Wasn't it some woman who attempted, the lady who tried to kill Reagan or something like that? Isn't she like already out? And she's like living free, and that's just a little odd. I mean,
well, what country was she from? Do you remember? Because see, that's the whole
American,
thing.
I think she was like a housewife. I don't know.
Okay.
Actually.
Because I thought this whole thing was about somebody from another country, because I know with some of these countries, and it's like the weird relationship that they have with, the United States is like they'll be lenient on one of their countrymen, just because it flies in the face of the U.S. was what I was gonna make. But on the other situation, I do understand, to your point, that murder. I do believe murder. I think that shouldn't be a 3-strike thing. I think if you're
mugging
here,
somebody, not for an American, not if you're in your homeland, you mug somebody. All right, that's a shitty thing to do. You go to jail for a little while, you come home, of course. You know what I mean? You get your punishment, you come home, whatever. But if somebody sneaks in this country and mugs somebody, I mean, look, I'd rather kick an American out who's mugging somebody. And look, I used to mug people coming out of bars when I was fucking 9, 10 years old. I used to mug grown adults with me and my fucking gang, the East Side Posse. ESP.
ESP.
Yep.
It feels like it kind of felt like one of those moments from the Goldbergs, but yeah, it kind of felt right. It kind of felt right to do that after you said that.
I gotta see that. The lady watched it all. I haven't. But just so you know, this was a real gang, by the way, made up of 9 and 10-year-olds. There was like 8 of us. I can name them all, but we're not talking about that right now. I could go on with fucking details. We had initiations. We hooked up with chop shops. We were selling fucking stolen fucking stereos from cars and shit. I mean, we had organization. We were actually a legitimate fucking gang. Watching Jerry Springer, Richard Bay, the pre-Jerry Springer, watching Richard Bay looking at little 8-year-olds selling drugs on the block, talking about their OGs, and me and my boy, who's dead now, Eddie, looking at each other going, 9 years old, looking at each other going, we'll never be OGs. We got in the game too late. Like, we thought, because we weren't block captains yet, that we would never be OGs. So.
Well, wow. I mean, I do have to say now, see, this is the weird dichotomy that is life, people. I sit here and most people think that me as an African-American male would be like, I would have some similar stories to share. But as it were, at 9, 10 years old, me, myself, I was a pretty good kid in elementary school for the most part. That was really...
I was a good kid too. I was playing with toys as well.
Yes,
we
but
play with micro machines. Our gang, ESP, used to fucking sit on the steps playing micro machines, drinking 40s and blunts and shit. Fucking talking about planning our crimes. We're going too far off, but can you keep talking?
You're absolutely fine. See,
we were on muggings. Don't forget that.
See. I feel you. No, but I'm talking about the whole dichotomy that is our lives. I think it makes for a funny new age Ebony and Ivory. I think we can show people, how lives are not that different, and sometimes not what you expect. You know what I'm saying? When people look at me, and sometimes when people look at you, they may not think of the of the lives that we've actually lived. At certain points and certain milestones of our lives. It's kind of funny, but true. I've never mugged anybody at 9, 10 years old. I can definitely say that.
If we did this Ebony and Ivory sort of Odd Couple, like as a sitcom, right, and it like was on the televisions, I guarantee you people would call us racists. They would say that by pointing this out, we're racists.
But see that,
I truly believe that.
But that would be funny. That would be funny to really see how people could try to make that argument, because essentially what we're showing them is that the stereotypes that people would attach to me, you know, that a lot of what my life was up until the age of probably about 14 or 15 years old was nothing like people might expect. And your life was probably what they would expect out of my life. So it would be funny to see how they can make this situation seem racist on our part because we brought that point to life.
I think it'd be a hilarious show. But I mean,
I do. But I think it can start like, I think maybe we can do it now. Maybe it's something that we can do as skits and then work up to
radio play. Hey, we lost half our viewership. Just letting you know. Went from 4 to 2. What is this? Nobody likes us.
Well, no one is willing to be up this late, not without pre-notice. I guess we gotta make sure we give them the pre-notice.
Time phone hack. We just gotta keep saying time phone hack, and then hundreds of people will watch us and give us money. Time phone hack.
No. What you're missing? I think what you're missing. Let me take a look because I saw it, and I think what you're missing right now is okay. Now you've got the beard. You've got the beard now, but I think what we need is some glasses. I think that's what we need: glasses and maybe a beanie. Now, unless you're going to keep the ponytail, which I think is awesome, is very shaman-like. So I mean, if you're going to keep the ponytail, I think go with that. But if you're going to, but if you're going to shave the ponytail, I would say go with a nice little beanie on top, a nice little kufi on top. I think that would bring the whole thing together. I think you will be really getting into the Quinn zone if you kind of work that out.
But then I'll also have to shave an eyebrow.
Hold on, wait a minute. I missed his shaved eyebrows.
Oh yeah, he shaved one of his eyebrows and half of his head.
Okay, and he was doing the bowls with that. Why did I miss a half shaved head? I didn't see the bowls. I didn't see the half shave.
Can you move both of your eyebrows like one at a time, individually of themselves? I mean, I could raise one.
Yeah, I can do a perfect rock impression, but I can only raise the left one with any real control. The right one, I cannot do it. I can't do it.
Man, it bothers me when I can't do that. It makes me go crazy. But anyway, we were talking about muggings and the fact that only shitty people mug, and we don't want our shitty people, but we have to deal with them because they're here, so we have a certain, level of punishment. However, when a shitty person comes from somewhere else, they should be dealt with way more extremely than a shitty. They should be banned for life. If you come here and you're legal and you become an American, then you're entitled to all the graces of being a piece of shit that the Americans have. But if you're not, if you're an illegal, then you should be banned.
Well, I mean, that one right there, I mean, I can't totally, because again, a mugging, a robbery, home invasion, I mean, those things can be very brutal. So I do understand where you're coming from on that.
Even a gentle mugging. Even a gentle mugging is invasive. It makes you feel terrible.
You're right. Having someone stick a weapon in your face or something like that and go through your pockets, and even if they don't really brutalize you or kick you around before they leave, even just doing that, it's definitely a feeling of
no weapon. Just. Hey, senor, listen, I'm very sorry, but I'm very hungry and so are my 5 children, so I'm going to kick you in the balls if you don't give me your wallet. Like an Irish Mexican. See, I'm trying not to be offensive. Even that is invasive and rude.
You're right. You're right. But I would certainly, I would certainly hope that a guy would. I mean, would not Nacho Libre someone into a muggy. You know, that's just my view. But I do understand. But murder, I definitely feel like we're on the same track overall. I mean, I think I could be convinced of that. I don't have a real hard argument against what you're saying, but just I definitely feel like murder. I mean, murder definitely that's like a definite ban. I think a mugging, a violent crime. I think it should definitely give you a good few years away in deportation. Not only being in jail time, but I think you should also not be able to enter back into the U.S. for a good number of years,
I could
even
agree
beyond
with
your
that
jail
over
sentence.
a permanent ban for sure. A good number of years, a nice long ban. Yeah, I could agree. I would think that's more than fair.
Yeah, even like I say, even beyond the jail sentence, you serve your jail time for what you've done, and then you can't come back in the country for a good period of years. So, like I said, you don't get credit
I
for
think
your
that's what we
jail
do,
time. Definitely,
right?
huh?
I think that's what we do now, isn't it?
I think so, but I just think it bears repeating because people don't understand that there are like most times when people say there are laws in place that can be effective and can work if you just work on those laws that are already in place instead of always trying to institute new laws, then it wouldn't be such bureaucracy, what I'm saying, amongst the people and amongst it just wouldn't be so much of this bullshit that's just cluttering up everything, honestly.
I do not disagree. I want to address one elephant in the room, is that the last episode was a part one, and this episode is not the part two of that part one. Doesn't mean we're not going to finish with a part two, but it also doesn't mean we will. So just let that be addressed.
But if we're willing to work it, and I'm willing to work it, then I'm pretty sure that we'll put our best efforts to put in a part two.
It's just that I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't benefit. It's. I'm trying to find ways to make it fun and funny, in which case, yes, full steam go. Otherwise, I'm not looking to do a droll thing. One of the things we were supposed to talk about was QAnon, because I was asking you what your knowledge was of it. And then I had the idea to do a separate series called The Retard's Guide to QAnon, where we start from scratch. We sort of start at the end and then go back. We look at what these people are talking about right now, because you understand how... Well, no, it's pretty big. I mean, it's gotten to Alex Jones. There's been hints that Trump was hinting at it. And, I mean, it doesn't take... You don't even need a skilled conspirator to paint you the picture of this little tale or whatever, to spin this tale to you. It's actually pretty easy to jump to. That's why it's so good, I guess. But, yeah, you do know it's got a lot of traction, at least, right?
Well, yeah, I definitely know that it's definitely been spoken about in a lot of different circles. The one circle very interesting enough for me, that it hasn't been spoken in, and I think this is why you were like, okay, you might have some questions. How much do you know, because of the Anon attachment to it? Now, from what I've been able to research over recently, was that the initial Q. Now that's what initially started out. This entity started out as simply Q, and that kind of connects to a certain very, very high and very pervasive level of clearance, of security clearance, and the intelligence industry as far as the government goes. Now, how the Anon situation got attached, I'm not sure. I'm not hearing a lot about QAnon in any of the anonymous circles that I've attached myself to over the years. So that's why I was very excited to speak to this person who you said had a run.
Let's just let everyone know that you definitely ran hardcore with the Anon circle. You were down with the Anon bus people. You actually had me working along with them for a while. We even made some creative videos together. But then it turned out that people who won't be named within the bus were apparently agents of the government.
Yes, there was some shills in there. There was some plants in there. There was some plants among this Tea Party rally and things like that. That was going on a few years ago. Yeah, it was a big fucking mess around there, and honestly, it was weird that Anonymous would be at this Tea Party rally with that sort of, with that sort of group. But we went along with it just to kind of see what would come out of that situation, and that's unfortunately what came out of that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the Tea Party always gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it's
crazy fucking weirdos in that group.
It was Make America. I believe that was the Make America Great Again crowd before the Make America Great Again crowd.
Time Bone hacked. No, you're right about that. That was the beta test for all this shit.
Very much so. Very much so, I believe.
I want to get another coffee, and I was going to see if you wanted to do one of your famous mainframe minutes, but your soon to be famous mainframe minutes, but we've only got 15 minutes left. Well, fuck that. 15 minutes left. That's enough time for a goddamn coffee. Would you like to do a mainframe minute?
Okay, when you say mainframe minutes, I guess me being the editor-in-chief and lead journalist, I'll just say a few things or, diatribe.
You already know what it is. This is all your idea. You came up with it, the mainframe minute, obviously, so it's on you.
Okay, I guess we'll take some minutes. You get some coffee and we'll expound on the minute. I'll take a minute and say that that the mainframe magazine in its last couple of years has been overall a three-man operation. Overall, a three-man operation that includes myself as the de facto editor-in-chief. As I admitted that wasn't my dream. That wasn't my overall goal to be editor-in-chief. I always wanted to be the hotshot lead journalist and have someone else be editor-in-chief. And I was the one that goes out and runs for the great stories and the great photos and all the great times out there in the world, having great adventures, being that hotshot lead journalist. But, when you realize you have to take an independent path to get to where you want to be, you have to be both the guy in the office and also
the guy selling yourself in the streets naked. In booty shorts.
Or completely naked, like Marlon Wayans and in his Netflix show. I mean, hey, it's getting them money, do what you gotta do. But basically, it's been it's overall been a three-man operation, as no one can do this thing on their own. And it included a crafty, mysterious X factor of a great undercover investigative journalist by the name of Marley Sheen, aka Fred Sanford, aka the Weed Ghost. I mean, just just a great guy, and of course,
is he another one of the ghosts in the Covenant? Another one of the agents?
I don't know. I don't know if the Covenant can handle the wild card that is Marley Sheen. I don't even know if the Covenant can the Covenant hold such an entity. I don't know. I
he's the leader of the Covenant. People don't know already. They'll figure it out eventually that Marley Sheen is actually Jesus Christ on Earth again. That's the trick on everybody.
Well, folks, if that is the case, then he will truly be coming back like a thief in the night. I can promise you on that one. Or maybe that crackhead on the corner. You just never know how he may come. You know, you just never know. Because just like Joan Osborne once said, what if God was one of us, huh?
No, maybe.
But also the third man, of course, as you can see, who's the third man? Who's actually the second man, but you know, last but not least, but he's more times than not, he's the second man. My broadcast partner, as always, you know, Todd Grundle was the publisher of our plucky little magazine that I stubbornly wanted to make a print magazine, but obviously had to realize that the future is digital and I need to, you know, pull my panties out of my ass and get with it. So, you know, we're gonna get with it. I hope that the winds of change and the bowls of music will signal a great future for Mainframe Magazine as Marley Sheen has now come back into the fold, and Todd is going to grace us every once in a while with his words on paper or words on digital form, and you know we're excited about that. You know, it's going to be a great time of no holds barred journalism again, folks. I just can't wait. The YouTube channel. The YouTube channel with my partners Astute Help will also be another extension of the magazine in the digital zone and will help bring a little bit more of what we try to bring to the magazine to life on the YouTube channel as best we can, or another platform that we will, of course, because as the Nothing Network goes, as Rotting Horse Publishing goes, so does Mainframe Magazine. So we'll always be affiliated. So whatever platform you'll see those entities on, you'll also see Mainframe Magazine. So,
well, to close out your minute, I'm gonna put you on the spot and tell the good folks when to expect. First off, is it gonna be a continuation of the old number or a complete and total reboot from number one again?
It's going to be. I believe that we had Marley and I had a theme that we were working on of basically exposing the people's champions, but then going into a redemption and a renewal issue. I still think that I want to complete that trilogy, but I think I still want to start anew as far as the direction that we're going in.
Well, those are things that need to be thunk, because I don't think you now can answer my next question, which is, when does the next Mainframe bit drop?
Well, the first thing that Marley and I are trying to concentrate on, in full transparency for you and everyone else watching or listening, what we're focusing on is making the website, the Mainframe Magazine.info website, our main base and hub of operations overall, and starting to work things from there.
Started there.
Huh?
Nothing.
But really just sort of
hopefully how I feel about that website.
I do, and that's why we're working on trying to make some improvements.
Sure, don't come to the guy who's been, day one against your website in every capacity, from design to for every single thing about your website. I've always hated.
But I've always said to you that if you feel some way that some things can be improved, oh, cool. No. I've always welcomed. It's like I welcome Mark. It's like I'll say on the camera, I will send you my password and my information to get into the actual site.
Pretty sure I already have all that from like a while ago, unless you changed it. I mean, I doubt I have it anymore, but I know you gave that to me at one point. I'm pretty positive.
But we are definitely working and open to any ideas that will revamp and improve on the website. We want to start there, and then we want to start from that point of kind of generating new content and information onto the site, moving forward to putting out an actual issue. How soon that will be, I definitely want to take some time and basically go one quick step at a time, but by getting some traction on the website. From there, I think we can start to get, a timetable on getting that next digital issue, the next full digital issue out?
Well, will it be 2018? That's my last question for you, because we're almost out of our hour.
Yes, it will definitely be in 2018. I definitely feel that with the conversations that have been had between myself and Marley, and the positive news that we have from even our Todd Grundle here, I definitely am predicting a couple issues in 2018.
Well, good. I'm excited. So, final topic, or were we still in the middle? Oh, the point about the retard's guide to QAnon was like the same reason there's no part 2 to that thing. I'm struggling to find ways to make both funny. And that's what I've said. Look, I don't care. Like, I want to get serious aplenty, just as long as there's always room for yucks. And currently, I don't see room for yucks in researching this, even though I think it's a good idea to go backwards and really sort out the QAnon in a concise manner for people. I think it'd be something that's both good for our traffic and informative for our viewers. But
okay,
it also seems kind of boring.
I got it, though. I got it. Now, I think I got where the yucks can come in. It's in some of the quotes. It's in some of the tweets that I've seen. They're so poetically ass kissing of Trump in certain ways that, you know what I'm saying, that I think to recite them romantically while we're talking about QAnon every
and I'm
once
sure
in a while.
We'll see a lot of Redditors too, and 4 and 8 channers and all these fuggaloons. I'm sure we'll see plenty. So you're right. I guess in the fact there will be plenty pickings in the community, I guess, for yucking.
Oh yeah, because I mean I've read some of those quotes and the way he speaks to Trump. I mean, oh my God, it's romantic. I mean, we have to read those in a way, in the way that I heard it in my head. It's so romantically asking.
We'll get some nice music going. We'll do some soft lighting for it.
Oh yes, that would work.
See, that would have to be a produced bit. That really, though, like, that's the other thing I thought. I wanted to do it as a live stream because all these motherfuckers who have a fucking YouTube success, these motherfuckers all do like 40 fucking hours a day. Literally, they do 40 hours a day because they have time phones, time machines, and fucking quantum computers. All of them, obviously. And they do these things where they just do this live research. And really, it's just a number patter. Because if you got 100 fucking viewers, you're going to get 1,000, 2,000 views on your 8-9 hour stream. Just like we'll get 100 views for our fucking 2 viewers if we did a long ass stream. So that's why I was thinking about it. You know, a way to drive traffic here to our special little place. For now, we are moving soon, but that's secret. Don't tell anybody. Shh. Don't tell them what's in the pipes.
Or for my people in the hood who like the Wayans Brothers TV show back in the day. Shh. Don't tell nobody.
You know, I always hated. Did I hate it? I think I hated Marlon Wayans for a while. I think I felt like they were tarnishing the Wayans legacy, but I definitely grew to like both of them, Marlon more so. I definitely changed my tune, but I think when it was on the air I didn't watch because I thought it was like blasphemy because they weren't subpar.
Well, I mean, it's... The thing about it is you have to understand about Keenan and, you know, and also Damon. You know, it's like okay, basically with those guys, they paid a lot of dues, you know, and they work with a lot. I mean, Keenan worked with Robert Townsend, who was very influential and very creative and very different about how he did his comedy and how he did his movies and shows. So he really learned a lot from him and was able to structure, you know, what he was doing with A Living Color and other things. Damon was always tight with Jim Carrey for a while, and was always working with comedians like Steve Martin and things like that. So he was getting his chops from those guys. But Marlon and but Marlon and oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting the other guy. And Sean. Marlon and Sean were pretty much learning from Keenan and Damon for the most part. So it was like,
don't forget Sean was SW1.
Well, that's when he was, that's when he felt like at that point he was still trying to break his way in, but they felt like, okay, look, you'll be a DJ and sort of just work this because we don't feel like you're quite ready to get in on that level yet, so they sort of had him work up, play extras and things like that, but they had him come up, and really get into the show, But I think it's just a thing of evolution and sort of timing and errors. I think their era, you had guys like Steve Martin, Chris Rock, Robert Townsend. You had a lot of guys that were, like they're very diverse, some very diverse talents that were out there that they can learn from. And as they were coming up, there weren't as many of those diverse guys to really work with that they had coming up. So.
Sorry, I'm nuzzling pussy right now, so I am listening.
Yeah. That's kind of why I'm kind of soon after the close of this show, I'll be doing the same thing, but it won't be no kitty cat, folks.
No sexual content on YouTube. No sexual content on YouTube.
Hey, we're just talking here. Yowza.
All right, so. Maybe there's some yucks there, maybe there's not. We'll find out. Maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. But again, the whole point is, that's it. I don't want to do anything that's really boring. That's too boring. It could be a little bit boring.
I think it's actually quite funny now that, like I said, it'll be funny to really play with this because like I said, my knowledge of Anonymous is that anybody who attaches a non or anonymous to their name, I think it was sort of attached, but I want to get the experts' view on it. But I believe it was attached, to play into the situation of Anonymous and really attach this person to Anonymous. But the way they speak about Trump, from my knowledge of Anonymous and certain facets of Anonymous, they don't basically chill out for a certain political figure. That's not what they're about. That would totally defeat the whole purpose of the mask and so forth like that. So I just think it would be kind of fun to play with the whole idea that this person who seems to be, QAnon is so pro-Trump and so, he'll take all the corrupt Democrats down because Trump is oh my God. I'm trying to tell you, there's some comedic value to those tweets and some of those predictions.
Maybe this is what we should be examining for the next batch of shows, is not just QAnon, but Anon all around, because look at all these YouTube channels like Anonymous Official and like Anonymous fucking UK and Anonymous this, Anonymous that. They are all verified. They're all highly subscribed to. Video is huge. But what the shit they're talking about is... It's now like it's gone to another dimension. It's definitely in a whole new level, the shit they're talking about.
That's the sort of roller coaster thing that is Anonymous.
It's more like National Enquirer. Let me just say that it's become like stories you would have heard in the National Enquirer of our youth, not today's National Enquirer. Like Bat Boy, like Donald Trump is secretly Bat Boy. We are anonymous. We are watching. We are waiting. Shit like that. I'm making that up. I'm being extreme, but I'm just saying there's fucking crazy shit being said now.
That's the weird thing and the weird time that we're in the age of information, because the things that we thought were crazy are now seeming like they could be more true as we go down the line. I mean, look. Anonymous was directly responsible for, exposing Spectrum, exposing that the government was in league with Facebook a long time ago in surveilling its people, surveilling its users on Facebook and things of this nature. So I mean, it's like, you know, sometimes certain facts of certain people, because it's a collective with no rule set. It's a collective with no uniform set. It's a collective that's really not a collective. So there are some facets of these groups that will put out wild claims, you know, and things like that, because there's no checklist to that. And that's why even on the Google platform, there were a lot of anonymous locations where certain people would say things because certain people had beliefs that in their own heart that anonymous was this. They would automatically shoot down certain things that were being said or that were being claimed because of that whole it's crack pipe. We're not dealing with this whole crazy conspiracy bullshit. We're about going after the credit card companies and going after Scientology. We're not after that. I mean, everybody knows Scientology is crazy. So while you're still beating that dead horse, there's other shit going on. So it's anonymous is a very wide-ranging, you know, roller coaster of a group, of a movement. I mean, it's hard to know which ones you're dealing with and how effective the people that you're dealing with are going to be. But I've talked too much. Sorry, getting long-winded. My apologies.
No, good words. You listen. This is probably what we should be focusing on, because it's definitely interesting. It's definitely something that you have some firsthand experience with, how they were. I think it may be it's almost too hard to believe what they're saying in these videos. Look, I don't deny that the alien aspect and the weird aspects. I can't deny those aspects. I have knowledge, personal knowledge, that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, at the very least, proves beyond a shadow of a doubt the alien stuff. Proves it to me. And members of my family. But yeah. So it's hard. It's hard for me to look at this stuff and blow it off. You know? It's definitely hard, but I think it may be a misinformation campaign. The stories that I know, what I know about the world, is simply that we have made contact with aliens. We're 40 years ahead. Always the military and everybody is 40 years ahead of the general public ever since Roswell, because of the technologies that they were given. And I'm not even sure that it's technologies that's doled out. Like, it's not like there's some secret alien group or something. We met the aliens. All I know is Roswell was real. Roswell was aliens. I don't know if, like, we've signed some fucking intergalactic treaty or any of that shit. But I definitely know we got technology from them, and I know we're 40 years ahead. Those are my facts. So my theory, based on those facts, is that we didn't sign some intergalactic treaty, because I think that we would have seen a higher growth in this stuff. Well, the accelerated rate of returns doesn't actually seem to apply when you think of it. I don't know. We would have to boil down the evolution of technology on a whole nother show to come up with a clear theory. But currently, right now, based on my dummy brain, I'm thinking we didn't sign any treaty. We just, like, this was like just a visiting ship that got lost. So nobody from the other galaxies or wherever they came from even knows they're here, because maybe they were like a scout or something like that. And then they crashed here. We got their technology, which gave us this jump, and we've always been 40 years. Maybe we haven't figured out the fucking other, like how their ships flew and shit. I mean, because they crashed, it obviously broke, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know any of that. That's all speculation.
But
it makes it hard.
I think that when people realize that there was, that even beyond the spaceships, that there were always supercomputers that were always here and present even before we started getting more of that information, it it would definitely say to me that when you take the combination of the fact that there were always that sort of technology even before it was released to the public for public consumption. There was always that sort of computers, supercomputers, that, you know what I'm saying, data information that they were running to finally get the luck into a situation, or who knows? I mean, we really don't know how that, like I said, it's so many. It's like the Freemasons in a way. It's secrets within secrets within secrets, because before we even crack the information of, okay, what's the technology of this ship? How did it come to crash? What if the United States has something to do?
He was a master mason.
And what if they have something to do with the crash? You just never know. What if they saw? What if they basically had a bead on this unidentified flying object? I mean, they love. I mean, somehow that came from somewhere. Unidentified flying object, and he saw it in the sky, and he decided to take it down, or they saw it in space, and decided to take it down. Who knows? I mean, who really knows before you start cracking the real story? But I do believe that when you have the ability to obtain data and to process that data, when you luck onto some technology like that, I think that they've been working,
which is
on it.
The best way to say it, Mr. Williams. Luck. That's what I think happened. I think we lucked onto some technology. I don't think we have some sort of arrangement. Keep going though.
But I just think that from that point, I just think that they started. I think it became more research. I think why all of a sudden it became a space race after a while. Why was everybody trying to get to space and trying to get to a certain point? Because somebody knew something. Because they realized the potential of what may be out there, and it's like, let's get out here and see what else the hell is out here.
This is definitely theories. That's definitely a theory.
You know, but the space race had, I mean, that had a reason behind it. Invading Iraq had, there was a reasoning behind that. There's a reason why they wanted to do that so badly. There's a reason why they wanted to get to space so badly, and it wasn't just because they wanted to do it before the Russians did it. They wanted to make, there was something they wanted to explore out there. They wanted to see out there. There was some other information they wanted to get a hold of, and they wanted to make sure they got to it before the Russians did.
Well, it would probably be that monolith. I think that would, if we're going under your, like they were trying to get to something, then that whole monolith theory makes some sense. But look, we can head down a whole fuckload of rabbit holes. And when I said that's a theory, I wasn't saying that's a theory I disagree with, but it's not one that I would also fully agree with, because I don't know, man. There's a million and one fucking stories out there, and what are we doing in this life? Are we telling another story? Are we searching for the one true story, or are we just mixing it all up and causing one giant convoluted mess just because it's fucking annoying? Like you're sitting at a game with people and you're just annoyed with the game, so you scramble all the pieces up on the board and say, fuck you. Yeah, Scrabble, you just fucking wrote xenophobe? Okay, well, fuck you. How about that? I just scrambled it all up, and now it says Gorbalabaclabafurplemp.
Well, what I'm hoping is that as a kid, the way I romanticized journalism back when I was a kid, I always believed that even though there may be a ton of lies, if you can get to that one, as long as you can get to that one block of truth, that all those other lies fall away and everything becomes clear once you get to that one main truth. So I think that once we start to really crack to at least acknowledging that, that there was a crash, but until we can break that barrier that there was actually a crash in Roswell, the people in our circles know it, but again, as long as the government can still hold that mystery and still have people still believing that it's just a weather balloon, as long as you still have people willing to believe that, then we'll never get to the real truth of the situation and the truth of the technology that the
But
government
why?
made a hold of.
Why? Because I know, and it does nothing for me. I
But see,
know for a
but
fact Roswell was aliens. I know for a fact our technology is 40 years ahead in behind the scenes. I know these things for a fact, and it does nothing for me.
how many people still believe that Roswell was nothing but a weather balloon that went down near that area?
I don't think anyone gives a fuck. I mean, it got turned into a TV show. It got turned into a punchline. I don't necessarily think people even like. I think they blow it all. I think they believe. Like, I think if you were to take a survey, you will find that people believe. You ask them, "Do you believe in UFO aliens?" I do. Do you believe in Roswell? No. Haha, that's retarded. I think that's what you're gonna find.
Well, then, and I think that's the thing that's going to keep the real truth and the truth about how advanced the government's technology is, as far as what they've obtained. It will always be there as long as people still believe that it's because that's the oldest trick in the book that the government's always put out on, is they've always used the media, they've always used the film industry to put certain shit out there so that once you see it, you'll feel like that's unbelievable. That can never really happen. That can never really go down like that, because they felt like, oh, somebody created this whole idea in a film studio, and once you see it on a movie screen, it's like it becomes
This I agree
unbelievable.
with. Keep going. I agree with this fully.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I feel like they do. So once they make a joke out of it through the Roswell TV show, once they kind of banter the situation and sort of play with it in Independence Day, it sort of makes it more of a fantasy situation where it went from this secret facility that no one could get into, but now it's this whole playground with all sorts of little exhibits of aliens, and the ship that they had as a main exhibit, and it's just all these wonders and things. It's just it's the fantasy that they play with to make you feel like it can never happen. It's a thing of, oh, zombies can never happen, but then bath salts make people eat people's faces off, but then that whole zombie thing is not so much of a fantasy
Rage
anymore.
zombies can happen. Romero zombies cannot, unfortunately, because I fucking hate rage zombies.
So are you really you know what, that's another conversation again for another time, of whether 28
A Romero
days
zombie would be
later,
soup. Okay, what is it?
that conversation, that debate of whether 28 days later are those zombies, or are they, I believe
They're
I
rage
believe
zombies.
I don't know. I call them infected.
Right,
I
well,
call
that's what it
them
is. The rage is a virus. I forget which franchise made it a thing, but that they coined the term rage zombie. Means if you're infected by some sort of like super soldier serum gone wrong or some other bullshit, and it makes you go fucking nuts like bath salts would, and makes you have like crazy strength, and you run crazy, and you're frenzy I Am Legend, whatever that Will Smith movie named itself. What did they? That was I Am Legend.
yes.
Yeah, that one and the original one. Actually, I
So
think they used slow zombie. No, they were vampires in the original, right?
Yeah, and I think they still kind of considered them that way in the I Am Legend, but it wasn't so much
Like
of
parasitic kind of way, right?
yes, yes.
That shit I believe in. But a Romero zombie, if it fucking bit you, its teeth would fall into its rotting head. Or they would, like, whatever. Like, I can't bite you right now, and I'm alive. It's going to be very hard for me to bite a chunk out of your arm.
Okay, I get. I mean, if you were really, if you were really, really pissed at somebody, and if you, could you feel like you could not build up enough rage or enough just visceral,
Sure.
that you could just basically bear down into somebody's
Yes.
skin and just pull something off.
Yes, but it would take a lot of like, you gotta like aim yourself right. You gotta angle yourself. Like you gotta like clamp on and get in. Otherwise, like the set, you pull yourself away. The best they're gonna do is like pinch you. They won't be able to clamp hard. They don't have the fucking muscles right. It just won't work. It just won't fucking work. I just chewed on my arm like an idiot. All right, what else we have? We're at the 117 mark. We just broke the sweet spot by 2 minutes. Shame on us.
Well, I think what we have right now is our gracious closing.
All right. Well, the truth is out there, people. And the truth is nothing. You've just been time phone hacked. Say your words, Mr. Williams. Oh, he's gone already. He left. He's gone. Fuck! That was the perfect ending, too. Time phone hack. Just destroyed your future, Quinn Michaels.